exercising witches.
I will get you every last copper, with interest. Give me a week, please.
Horson's no banker. He's an honest man. You pay on time, you get protection. You don't pay.
Help!
What you hollering for, stupid wench? What are you hoping for? A knight in shining armour?
Close enough.
Keep out of this, greyhead, not your concern.
Vespula's got someone else's protection now.
Really? Who's that be?
The King of Beggars made a deal with Junior. This is his turf now.
Didn't hear nothing about that.
But you have heard what Bedlam does to people who cross him. Or you need a demonstration?
Come on, Fritz. Boss wants it that way. It's how it's got to be.
Oh, thank you. To think there are men who'll help a stranger out of the kindness of their hearts.
Not entirely out of kindness, and you're not entirely a stranger.
What are you? Oh, I know you. You're that witcher took Dandelion out whoring. Gerald, right?
Not Gerald. Geralt.
Oh. Dreadful sorry.
Explain something if you don't mind. You say I took Dandelion out whoring.
So he said. Claimed I was his one and only. But he fell in with the wrong folk. You and that dwarf who always looks like a cow licked him. Said you two were a bad example. Wine, women.
Song. He picked that habit up from us too? Gotta have a word with him. What do you think? Where could Dandelion be?
Probably out whoring. That horse pheasant. That lying scoundrel.
Ouch. What did he do to get your goat?
Same thing as ever. Prize bullshitter came back, saying it was till death do we part this time. And no more than a week passed before I spotted him in Harbourside, strolling with some trollop on his arm. 'Twas the last straw. All those questions about the washerwomen at the bathhouse, then this. I beat him black and blue and threw him out on his ear.
Dandelion ask you about other washerwomen? Not terribly subtle even for him.
Maybe he likes some sudsy.
Maybe. But what did he ask about, exactly?
Oh, this and that, really. What's it like at the bathhouse? Have I got any friends there? What are their working hours? I don't know. Maybe he's looking to hire one for his tavern. Maybe I got all in a huff for no reason.
This woman he was with in the harbour. Who was she?
Claimed she was his niece from Kovir. Ha! Horvir, more likely. Corset so tight her eyes were popping out her head. His too, come to think of it. An artist or a whore. Doesn't much matter as they're one in the same.
Thanks for your help. Listen, when I find Dandelion, anything I should tell him?
No. I mean, tell him he's a two-faced snake, but it would be nice if he dropped by.
Welcome, do come.
I'm a friend of Dandelion's, looking for Elihal.
You've come to the right spot. How might I be of service? Need something shortened? Patch your trousers, darn your socks.
You Elihal?
Yes. Now pick your jaw up off the floor.
Sorry, I thought Elihal was one of Dandelion's girlfriends.
Oh, so it's that. Wait here. Any better?
So you're...
Elihal.
Did you and Dandelion... how did you two meet?
I met him one night in a tavern. He was blind drunk.
What happened?
What do you think? We spoke.
That's it.
I'm not sure what you're getting at, but I should make one thing clear. Men don't interest me. Told him that as well. Luckily, Dandelion's an open-minded fellow. We had a lovely evening. He became a loyal customer afterwards.
Dandelion visit your shop often?
I tried many times to talk him into a decent doublet. Sadly, he'd only come in to get a button reaffixed or a hole patched.
When'd you last see him?
Some time ago. He brought in one of Zoltan's jerkins, insisted I sew on an extra pocket. Odd as requests go, I had the distinct feeling he'd actually come to talk.
What did you and Dandelion talk about? He asked about anything in particular?
Let me think. Had an ordinary chat, really. Although, indeed, he did keep asking about Kalkstein. If Dandelion and I hadn't laid our cards on the table at the start, I might have suspected he had a history with the alchemist. He spoke like a lovesick beau. In fact, he desperately wished to meet with him.
Kalkstein's in Novigrad? Wouldn't mind seeing him myself.
You're too late, I fear. The witch hunters nabbed him recently, burned him at the stake in Hierarch Square. But as he perished, the goings-on, impressive. Fiery beasts circled his pyre, then rose into the sky and exploded to form letters.
Really? What did they spell?
Radovid sucks flaccid cock.
I know this is none of my business, but why do
I dress up? As a child, I dreamt of becoming a Doppler when I grew up. I became a tailor instead. Discovered clothing. Costumes can express all the complexities of one's personality. I'm a Redanian countess one day, a dockside thug the next. That is true freedom. Have you never thought to become someone else? Even for a moment? Must be horribly boring being a witcher all the time.
I managed to stay interested. Thanks for your help, and nice to meet you.
I can help with much more. If you need new trousers or a vest, you know where to find me.
No loitering round here.
Anyone, don't let me down!
Hey there.
Geralt of Rivia, Witcher. White Wolf, they call you?
You stand accused of offending religious sentiment. We've orders to take you in for interrogation. Surrender your weapons.
Over my dead body.
Told you we wouldn't fool him. Well, you're due a beating. It will just be more of a challenge.
Remember the preacher who spoke of witches and witchers? A man you humiliated before his faithful. He asked that we administer a sacrament on his behalf. Your last rites.
What? Lost your nerve?
I've had enough of it.
You do well not to pester folk.
Oi, Poker!
Excuse me. I'm looking for Marabella.
I am she. Wait outside. Class is in session.
I'll wait.
It won't take long. It turns out he'll not come after all.
in the circus.
Why not?
'Cause he can swallow
A rat
salt.
bit him,
Can you?
and he's caught a fever.
Where'd you get bit?
Life.
And then he killed him. Liar.
That's enough. We're done for the day.
Where are ya?
Gather your things and go home.
Wonder if the rat catcher will get well.
Like as not.
How do you know?
Mum says that if he but catches a cough,
You talk?
Yes. What do you want?
I know you saw Dandelion recently.
Oh, yes. Longest afternoon of my life.
He read you his poems.
No. We perused the illustrated guide to fungi.
Maybe... No. Won't even try to guess why he wanted to do that.
Mold. That was his interest. When his hand abandoned my knee to point at a figure of penicillium, I knew the fire between us had died. Permanently.
See Dandelion after the fungus incident?
No. I even considered granting him another chance. His heart of hearts is pure gold. He simply needs a bit more discipline in his life. But he never came back to see me. So I thought if it's done, it's done.
Thanks for your help. Farewell.
Just deal around. One for the price of two.
Geezer copper. Arms for red, please. Or phone. What difference will it make?
Great, but so cool.
This baronet's La Vallette's villa.
Shouldn't interest you. The Baroness don't mingle with just anyone.
Don't worry. I'm here to see your chambermaid, Molly.
Out of the way. Baroness is riding out. Be gone.
Greetings, Witcher. Must admit it's curious to see you here. I don't quite believe in coincidences.
Geralt of Rivia, slayer of monsters, and my son.
You're right, General. My visit's no accident. I'm looking for someone.
There's no one here who wishes to see you. Captain, this man is not to enter. Forgive me, Morvran, but I've lost my appetite for the races.
Kill a woman's son and appear at her doorstep? My. I thought witches had better survival skills than that.
Looking for a girl named Molly. Heard she works here.
I fear your information's out of date. Molly no longer works here.
Seem to know who Molly is. You also know she doesn't work here anymore. Know where I can find her, maybe?
This time of day? Probably sipping punch and considering which horse to bet on.
Not in the mood for jokes.
I jest you not. After Arian's demise, Luis's nephew came to pay his respects. Got one glance of Molly and, well, they wed soon after. They now await his inheritance. With the Baroness's son dead, the estate will go to the nephew and Lady Attre, known until recently simply as Molly.
Gotta wonder if Molly fell for the nephew or his inheritance.
We cannot know that just yet. But I'd wager she has strong feelings for both.
All right, so where'll I find the newly minted Lady Attre?
Our dear little Molly has a new passion, horse racing. To my knowledge, she should be at Countess Vegelbud's villa right now. That's exactly where I'm going. Since you stripped me of Louise's company, perhaps you'd agree to come along.
Well, if Molly'll be there.
On our way, then. We've arrived.
Nice place.
I must say, of all the creatures in this region, I find steeds most intriguing. Horses interest you at all, Witcher?
All the same to me. Call each one I ride Roach.
Strange. The grey is Cantarella, sired by Cahir, the champion from Vol.
Yeah. Gray's a good color. Even looks good on horses.
My coin's on the Black Stallion, Nemrod, purest Nilfgaardian stock.
Surprised he didn't salute you, General. Know anything about the Chestnut or the Bay?
The Chestnut is Thunderbolt, a pure-blood Britannian, gallant steed, but too headstrong for my taste, difficult to control. And the Bay hails from Zerrikania. Lord de Volte acquired him recently. I know little about him, though Zerrikanians are reputed to have incredible stamina.
Seem to know your horses.
I find them to be far more honest than men. Must say, I'm curious how you manage in the saddle, Witcher.
Mostly just try to stay in it.
What would you say to a little race?
Not what I came here for.
Don't make me beg, Witcher. Tell you what, win, and I shall give you my finest saddle, made in Nilfgaard proper of beautifully tanned leather.
Why not? Wouldn't mind seeing if your knowledge of horses translates into riding skills.
Ha! Splendid! In that case, you must choose a mount.
Think I'll give you a run on the Zerrikanian Bay.
Cantarella for me, then. The horse is a saddle. Let's begin.
ready?
I adore the speed, the rush of air.
Move it.
Don't spare the horse. I adore the speed, the rush of air. Don't spare the horse!
The roach I chose put in a nice run.
Exceptional. I've not lost a race in a while. I congratulate you. That is yours. Ah, look! Lady Latar has just arrived.
Who?
The woman formerly known as Molly. There she stands.
Right. Thanks.
I shall be here for a time. Find me if you'd like to ride back to the city together.
Who do you favor, milady?
Can't decide between the black stallion and the grey mare. Keep going back and forth, back and forth. Sorry, don't believe we've been introduced.
I'm Geralt.
Geralt! That Geralt! The one Dandelion's rescued time and time again!
Wouldn't be here if not for Dandelion.
Told me all about your adventures. How he'd ready you for battle with his songs. How he tamed the Kairan by playing his lute.
I meant that literally. Dandelion's why I'm here. Came to ask you about him. Know where he might be?
No. Sadly, I haven't got a clue. We've not seen each other in ages. Ever since I became Lady Latard, it's been nothing but balls, banquets, and other such... congregations. Awful tiring, all this. But... or maybe his sister could help you. Such a nice girl.
I'm under the impression Dandelion thinks you still serve the Lavalettes.
Oh, that's because I never told him I stopped. Didn't want him to treat me any different.
And your husband has nothing against it? Your old friendship?
Course not. Sweetiekins couldn't be happier that Dandelion's raising me sophistication.
Any chance you remember your last conversation with Dandelion?
Course. He came to borrow some coin for a barge.
What? Why do you need a barge?
To take me on a romantic cruise of the canals by the light of the moon. Said there'd be strawberries and that wine with the bubbles, and he'd sing me arias. But I've not seen him since.
You do realize Dandelion doesn't have a sister?
Sure he does. Saw him himself. Funny, she don't look like him at all. Blonde, for starters. Maybe they've different fathers.
Different mothers, too.
Maybe. But you could see he cares for her. Looks after her. The way he carried her packages and...
Know where I can find her, Dandelion's sister?
I know. Whenever I asked Dandelion when we'd visit her, he'd grow all quiet and then change the subject.
Thanks, Molly.
Wait. Before you go, I've got a request. Dandelion told me once he'd show me his etchings, but he never did. I'd so like to see them.
Won't be too hard to convince him. He loves showing off those etchings to anyone he can.
Oh, that's wonderful! Thanks. And good luck to you on your search.
Geralt, there you are. Shall we return together?
Gladly. It's a long way to Novigrad. Road ought to seem shorter with some company.
I'd say the same. Well then, let's go. And here we are. Thank you for your company.
Likewise. See ya.
This morning, my gwent came back from the market with news. Some mysterious murders happening in some house.
I chased the pansy all the way to the garden.
You catch him?
No luck. What do you want?
Want to see Rosa Attre?
Oh, mate, if you only knew what I want. Miss Rosa don't see just anybody.
I'm Geralt of Rivia, a witcher.
Soon as Miss Rosa turns into a striker, I'm sure her papa will send for you. But she's not showing any symptoms yet, so I venture you're not needed. On your way now.
Ah! That hurts!
Interesting.
You fancy men like me? Whole town's going on about it. So no point playing hard to get, sugar puss.
It's Lady Attre to you. And I'd advise you to sod... Who are you? Why are you here? Answer this instant or I'll summon the guards.
Sorry to sneak in, miss. I'm Geralt, a friend of the bard Dandelion.
Geralt of Rivia? The famed witcher of the ballads?
What are you doing here, vagrant? How'd you get in? I let no one in the front, my lady. I swear it on the great sun.
Not a word. I'll handle this. Hold your tongue, sir. This is Frederick Francis de Bergerac, my new swordplay instructor, correct? Show him to the training room. I shall join him shortly.
But my lady's a witcher. Said so himself back by the gates.
Captain, do you truly believe Rosa Attre would train with random clods calling themselves sword masters? No. The Attres demand the very best. Thus, we've hired a witcher. Take him to the training room. Now.
As you say, miss.
Won't you realise what you've got yourself into?
Hope so too.
Miss Rosa's got a downright beastly temper. Shows no mercy once she grips a sword.
Grab a wooden one. Take care not to hurt the living.
Follow me.
You're my new instructor. Well, Papa clearly went out of his way this time. Wood, to start with. I must know your worth.
What? Lost your nerve?
Why bother with two swords when you can barely handle one? Ha! I win! Is there not one competent instructor in this entire city?
I'm not actually your swordplay instructor.
Really? Then who are you? And how on earth did you get in?
Am I imagining things? Didn't we just have this conversation in the garden?
The garden? Yes, yes, in the garden. So, what was it you said? Why are you here?
Before I ask, gotta admit, you do pretty well with a sword. One pointer. Don't expose your left flank when you dodge.
Oh, I know. Terrible habit. Can't seem to get rid of it. I'd hoped to find someone in Novigrad who could help me to do so. But don't you dare try to dazzle me with advice. Already admitted you're not here to give me lessons.
Came to ask about your rhetoric tutor, Dandelion.
Rhetoric tutor? Good one. That is why Papa hired him, but not at all what the bard had in mind. He mostly played his lute and sang for us. I believe he thought he was wooing.
Mean he wasn't? But you had some sort of relationship.
If you call him chasing after me a relationship. Even so, there was nothing between us. Seems my sisters had a bit of fun at our expense. But enough chatter. Stand and fight. I demand a rematch. Stop floating and fight!
Not too late to surrender.
Why bother with two swords when you can barely handle one? Yeah! Stop floating and fight! Why bother with two swords when you can barely handle one?
What? Lost your nerve?
Stop floating and fight! Yeah! Why bother with two swords when you can barely handle one?
Well, how long you gonna make me wait?
Stop floating and fight!
Too late to surrender.
Why bother with two swords when you can barely handle one? Ratchet! You damn it! Well, if you're not an instructor, you should certainly be one. Fancy giving me a few private lessons?
Can't rightly refuse a request from a lady.
What are you two lovebirds whispering about? You asked about my relationship with Dandelion? Well, here's the mix-up's mastermind. Edna var Attre, the greatest mischief maker north or south of the Yaruga.
Hang on. So it was you in the garden.
Of course it was me. Why, did Rosa try to play you for a fool? Don't be mad. We've done this since we were children. People have always mistaken us for one another.
Can someone please explain what this is all about? Which of you met with Dandelion?
No need to get angry, Instructor. I'll explain. Edna sent Dandelion some love letters. She signed my name. Conceited as he is, naturally he fell for it. I was left to repel the aging bard's advances. Rosa, I had the best of intentions, you know that. I felt you needed help taking the first step. You blushed every time he sang a ballad. He'll next sing at your funeral if you don't stop it right now.
Calm down, ladies. No poet's worth two sisters nipping at each other's throats.
Especially not this one.
Listen, I just want to know one thing. Either of you seen Dandelion lately?
Edna might have. I certainly have not. My dear sister, I would never spend time alone with a man for whom you burn with a secret passion. Burn with passion? For one who incessantly praises another woman's talents? Afraid I've more sense than that.
Dandelion act any different lately? Notice anything strange?
Strange? Not really. It's no use, Geralt. She's so enamored she'd hardly notice if he turned into a werewolf. Edna! What? You needn't pretend he followed convention. Remember when he took us to the cemetery?
Rhetoric lessons in a cemetery. Unusual even for Dandelion.
We set out to visit the graves of celebrated Oxenford professors. He ended up quizzing us about Margrave Henkel.
Who?
Eccentric old coot. Died recently. He'd apparently been an important and generous patron of the arts as a young man.
Bet sophisticated young ladies like you know a bunch about politics.
We've picked up a few things. What would you like to know?
Wonder how the war's going. Any outcome looming?
Papa says much depends on Radovid, and on who captures Novigrad first.
What's Novigrad got to do with it? Free city. Never taken sides. Always stayed out of conflicts.
Oh, even children know Novigrad's home to the world's largest fleet. And they say the city's treasury's bursting with enough to equip 2 armies.
Emperor continuing to push north. Courtiers must be ecstatic.
His confidants must be. But Papa says that's not likely to last much longer.
Why not?
Papa says the war's disrupting trade, and people are tired of financing the Emperor's adventures.
Changing subjects. Who'd Dandelion sing about? Know anything about her?
I believe she's a poetess, or trabaritz. Very skilled and exceptionally talented, of course.
This woman. Not a local, right?
I seem to remember him praising her melodious Kaviri accent. Makes sense. He referred to her as Kalonetta a few times. Bizarre names are common in Kavir.
Gotta ask Zoltan about this Kalonetta. Been a pleasure, but I've got stuff to take care of.
Exceedingly nice to meet you. Please come again.
These days, hair-brained, all of them.
Now in his eyes. Just wonderful. What happened, kid?
They...
Hey, wait!
The grey git!
Grab him.
Stop walking into his sword!
He's hexing! Rumble time!
That's enough of that.
Sick of it all.
My head's spinning.
Looking wobbly. Need some overripe sheep's feet. Help a poor fellow out.
I serve the eternal fire.
All right.
How are you keeping, Bobby? Miss your Zoltan, you old bun? What's this? Haven't you... Ah, you're back! You met Poppy? She ought to start talking any day now.
That Field Marshal Duda's replacement? The Marshal was a parrot, you do remember, right? Where'd you get her?
At auction. Some mage's estate went under the hammer. Witch hunters and the Eternal Fire joined forces, staked out his place and rounded the sorry sap up, put his things up for sale. Happened to be passing by and saw this out. Came with her own cage.
How could you resist?
Could they? It weren't possible. Ah, but dandelions what matters now. So, how'd you do? Learn much?
Tell me what you've got first.
A few bruises and a torn doublet. Otherwise, not much of note. He wasn't staying with any of them. I've not seen hide nor hair of him in ages. All I learned was a few of Dandelion's pickup lines. Dubious worth.
Think I might have something better.
What are you waiting for? Let's have at it.
Women on my list hadn't seen Dandelion in a while. All claimed he had been acting strange. Also mentioned he'd been seeing someone else. Thing is, Mystery Woman wasn't on my list.
What's she supposedly like, this lass?
Blonde, from Kovir. A Troberitz, apparently, named Calanetta or something like that.
That makes it clear as crystal. It's Priscilla. Aye. Must be her.
Why wasn't she on the list?
This Priscilla wasn't like the others. I think Dandelion more than fancied her. I think it was fervour.
He lusts after every other woman he meets.
How can I explain? Who does Dandelion love most?
Himself.
Exactly. And she's his mirror image.
Dandelion in love. Actually, truly in love.
Oh, yes. The laddie's head's on fire. Lassie's got him whirling.
All right. Guess we gotta talk to her.
Priscilla works with a mummers troupe. Reynard and the Foxen. Whenever they're in town, she performs nightly at the Kingfisher.
Mean we've been sentenced to an evening of poetry?
Must you always? This'll be true poetry, Geralt. You'll see.